me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah.
Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sipping my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture. I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Jop, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick shit, Tower music, nigga.
Yo, Golden Era. Shout out to Jaffe. That album is streaming on all platforms, y'all. Them Brown Boys, they going crazy. General Deezy and Jaffe and Tiger Stripes is streaming on all platforms. You dig what I'm saying? Go check that album out. Not just that song. Even though that song right there. Shout out to Jaffe for giving me the right to even put that in, use his music and intros and stuff like that because he ain't have to. But don't get it twisted. He is sharing that revenue. Don't let it get twisted. You know, like I said, man, shout out to everybody that's in the building. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, y'all know the routine. Anybody but a dead body, do me a favor, hit the dice cubes in the chat. If I could shout out everybody that typed in the building so far. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody that was asking about the guard, Frank Boo, had a conversation with him earlier. He should be pulling up tonight. So everybody that was wanting that raw and authentic content, like he said, he gonna make sure it's not repetitive and make sure it stay official. So look out for the great Frank Boo. All right, thank you, baby. Keisha said crystal clear. She said crystal clear. My man City Bama, he's in the building. He said crystal clear. Let me get the shouting y'all out. Thank you, dog. Let me get the shouting y'all out from the top. Let me get to the top. First one to type in my baby Key. She said she's here. City Bama, he's in the building. Day one shit before YouTube. He's in the building. For real. Most hated bronze flat power guard. Peace to the guard. I see you in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got? We got East New York. We got East New York up in the building. The sister's here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to East New York. We got my guy Guy. He's in the building. holding us down from day one. Definitely holding us down from day one. I appreciate everybody pulling up in the building. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got in here? We got my bro. I know I saw him. Dog Soldier's in the building. He's in the building. Yo, shout out to El Plaga. Shout out to El Plaga. Like I ain't wanna blow it up. I was gonna download the shit and put it up on my shit, but I'm gonna let Dog do that. My man Dog got a fire. I mean, that nigga El Plaga put some fire shit together for Dog. I'm talking about some fire shit. The nigga crazy with them graphics, y'all. He crazy with them graphics. Word up. East New York said she's sending her love to everybody because she getting dressed. She had something to go hang out and do tonight. You know what I'm saying? City Boy Floyd, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. I see you. I see you in the building. We all here. The family's pulling up. Sir Valentino, big shit. He in the building. Sir Valentino is day one too, y'all. A lot of y'all just seen Sir Valentino day one. Day one shit. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to Sir Valentino for pulling up in the building. You know what I'm saying? Original 050, where a lot of people saw me at first. Y'all said y'all wanted some content, so I got some content for y'all because if this don't affect y'all, it's gonna affect somebody you know. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fuck with me. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I get EBT. You know, when I lost my job, yes, I did. I went down there and they can type this all the way. They can do what they want to do. Happy birthday to your son too. Happy birthday to your son, 20-year-old birthday. He's grown. Make sure you have a great time with him tonight. You understand what I'm saying? My man, my White Castle brother from another mother. Chief Red Hair Brown Eyes is in the building. Salute. Yeah, we got some content for y'all. It's going to be a 2-part series. I'm going to drop the link for people want to pull up, you know what I'm saying, and put your input in what's going on. Grown folks conversation as usual. Intelligence over ignorance. You understand what I'm saying to you? Intelligence over ignorance. Like I said, shout out to the people that's been telling me to stay on my content because y'all know I started another 60-day content. That's light work. Yesterday, I had a mean-ass headache, y'all. That's the only reason why I ain't go live. Mean-ass headache. I think the bud is getting too strong for me. All jokes aside, yo, dog. I think the bud is getting too strong for me. I stopped smoking bud, so I'm telling you, I think the shit is just getting too strong for me. You know what I'm saying? But I got some content to talk about. Because this right here, to me, seems like it's going to be something to set us up. I don't know. What I mean by set us up is ain't nobody going to starve. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. But if you pay attention to what this says right here, you know what I'm saying? If y'all pay attention to this is nothing to be playing with right here. If y'all pay attention to this right here, you see we accept food stamps and the EBT card. They said no SNAP benefits. No SNAP benefits, meaning EBT, any other assistances like that. No SNAP benefits to be issued in November as government shutdown continues. Okay, one more time. Anybody that's getting any type of assistance, EBT, SNAP cards, you know what I'm saying? You know, the 1st and the 15th, due to the fact that the government is not working right now, the government is on strike, as they say. They said that these supplements that are given out every month will no longer be there. BX Indio, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Like, seriously, what y'all think this is going to do? Chief Red Hair said, yo, tell me why on the ice cream truck is outside at 7 o'clock at night. What the fuck scary times we living in? You know, because I just said this earlier. Chief. You think I'm joking? I just said this earlier because, number one, this is almost becoming the end of the summer. The end of the summer. Angie, baby, is in the building. And I spoke to Frank Boo, Angie, baby. And I spoke to Frank Boo today. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? He's working, getting all the blessings that he deserved. He should be pulling up in here tonight. He said, shout out to everybody that was looking for his content. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, when he do come out, he going to make sure he come back stronger than he was before. He didn't want to keep coming out with the same repetitive nonsense like certain things, you know. All official over here, but we got something to talk about. We got something to talk about pertaining to the women that are on Section 8. Maybach, Sapase, I see you in the building, beloved. Salute. This right here, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to this. This right here is the women that's on Section 8, the women that have children. You know, there's some women that have children that depend on that EBT every month because we're going into almost a month now that the government has been shut down. What y'all think this is doing? First of all, what do y'all think this is doing? What about the people? What about the people? What about the ladies, the women that have one child? They might be able to get help. What about the women that have 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, 5 children, 6 children, and they rely on this extra income to help feed their children? What about the people that get their checks on the 1st and 3rd? The people that are mentally, drop guard, peace, I see you in the building. The people that are mentally deemed not to be able to keep a job. Huh? What about the people that y'all know that they said, you know what, because of their mental disorder, they're not even expected to keep a job. They're going to get an allowance every month. You know, the 1st and the 13th, the 1st and the 3rd every month, people get, all of that is supposed to get knocked off. BX Indio said, it's about to affect everybody's holiday. It's bigger than what it is. Pay attention. Pay attention. Keith said that earlier with the holiday. Pay attention to this, y'all. This is about to affect everybody's lifestyle. Phoenix, I see you in the building. I see you in the building, sis. Yo, City Boy Floyd. That means like the people that have mental, pay attention. The ones that's, a lot of the people that's getting they checks on the 1st and the 3rd, they have mental disabilities. Mental disabilities. So that means that money stops. That money stops. So pay attention to this, y'all. This is what I want to know. People are going to go into form. Mr. Jake Desamine, I see you in the building. I see you in the building, beloved. Brooklyn shit, I appreciate you for pulling up. Seen you a couple of times when I dropped the content. I ain't seen you with the goofy shit, but I seen you for the content. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Dave Dollar, I see you in the building. You know what the flavor is? Forever. DSEP, baby. DSEP. Forever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever. Appreciate you for pulling up. East New York says, shout out to everybody in the building. Love my sisters. Go out and enjoy that son's birthday. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. That's a beautiful thing. My mother used to, you know, after a certain while, she stopped. My birthday is like, I started stop getting things from my mother on my birthday. She's like, what you want for your birthday? Nothing. Cook me something to eat. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I remember, you remember when Fat Joe came out with the video, lean back, when the rock away. Well, he had a Mark Buchanan jacket. He had a Mark Buchanan jacket with all the basketball teams in New York. I got the same exact jacket. I remember my mother said, I want to do something to you for Christmas. I want to do something for you for Christmas. I want to get you something for Christmas. I said, yo, Mom, this is what I want you to do. I said, you want to give me something for Christmas? She said, yeah. I said, give me $200 to buy me a coat. She said, finally, you'll let me do something to her. So I gets the coat, y'all, and I brings the coat back. My mother looked at that coat and said, that coat ain't cost no $200. I said, Ma, I never said that the coat cost $200. She said, how much did the coat cost? I want to buy the coat cost. I said, nah, I'm not going to tell you what the coat cost, Ma, but the coat was way over $200. But since you was bothering me, I took the $200 from you. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a $900 coat. So shout out to all the mothers that be still trying to spoil their sons. You know what I'm saying? It's well appreciated, even though we be trying to help y'all and spoil y'all. Miss Holly, I see you in the building. Holly. Top of the evening, sis. I see you in the building. Word up. I see you in the building. Well, we got we got 2 things I want to talk about tonight. I'm glad some of the ladies in the building. I'm glad some of the brothers is in the building. I got 2 things I want to talk about tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is the situation going on with the government and how this is going to affect a lot of people that depend on this type of money every month with their everyday lifestyles. And the second part I want to talk about, shout out to my man KT. You know KT, when he the king of the trolls, he be trolling all the time, but he has another page. Somebody dropped his page called Holla at Your Boy. You know what I'm saying? And on that particular page, he be dropping straight content. I'm talking about fire content. And I wanted to piggyback off a show that he did earlier. In the show, he was saying, how come our feelings are not really considered until it affects a woman? Meaning, who loves harder in a relationship? Do men love harder than women? The reason why I ask that question is They say once a man gets his heart broke, sometimes it'll never even heal. He'll never get over it. He'll never, ever get over it. But they say women, they quickly can regroup. How y'all feel about that? They say men, if we get our heart broke, they say it's hard for us to ever even get over it. They say women, when y'all leave someone or someone leaves y'all, there's always going to be somebody else that's trying to get in y'all good graces. But they say once a woman stops loving a man, she can be happy again. She can get on with her life. Is that true? Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? Who agrees with that? Phoenix, Holly, Keisha, Angie, East New York. Where my sister Annette? She should be popping up in the building. Somebody hit Annette and tell her we live. I sent the link. Keisha said, but some of us, meaning the women, never get over it. Dog Soldier said, it's factors. It's factors to rebounding. It's factors to rebounding. Got a point there. Got a point there. Well, like I said, these are two great topics that I think we're going to get into tonight. The first one we're going to get into, like I said, is this situation pertaining to this EBT card and them just canceling all the food benefit and assistance for the people that depend on this every month. So what do they want these people to do? Drop Guard said there's always a thirsty nigga out there ready to trick and do whatever it takes. That's right, to get into a woman's good graces. That's a cold-blooded fact. That's a cold-blooded fact. But the question is, how come women allow them to get into their graces? Not all. I'm not talking about all women. I'm not talking about all men. I'm talking about a certain percentage. I can't say whether it's high or low, but I do know when a woman feels as though she no longer wants to be in a relationship. If y'all agree, ladies, put the dice cubes up. If a woman feels as though she no longer wants to be in a relationship, the minute she has this feeling, there's nothing else to talk about. But I've also noticed when a man no longer wants to be in a relationship, not all women, but a lot of women be like, we ain't gonna break up till I say we gonna break up. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Holly said, Dice, because we let our guards down. Uh-oh. Holly said straight up and down, the reason why it's easier for women, some women, to get into a new relationship is because they let their guards down. Keisha said it also depends on if it's real love or if it's conditional. That's some deep shit too. Whether it's just love for the moment or love forever. See, the sad part about it is us men, when we go through heartache, we don't let our guard down. We get more protective. Carnage to Billy, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Big Sunday thing. See, this is the part I want to understand. When it comes to some men, not all, when our hearts are broke, we become more protective when it comes to our heart. Miss Holly just said, some women, not all, after a relationship or after a breakup, they decide when it's time or the right time to let their guard down. We still got to get down to the magic question. Who loves harder, men or women? After this short break right here, we're going to get into this work. Y'all said y'all wanted this content, and we're going to get into this content. Let's go.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, there was a nigga that was tough, and he still told. Like, What I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds I'm cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. Hold these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading they clothes on the Poshmark. Switch, baby, careful with this. I mean, this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like, high from who? Bout to put your car on skates. You think you slide through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, and he still told.
We got TT the Oracle in the building. Oh, and matter of fact, Savannah can definitely type. She can definitely type. Let me hit my man Dog up. Yo, Dog, he had a little situation on YouTube. Once they won with Dog, they blocked out the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my man, he did a great live earlier, y'all. If y'all not subscribed, everybody put their links in. But if y'all not subscribed to Dog Soldier on some real shit, I can say this. I was actually proud of my man. A host of reasons. Like I said, his loyalty is crazy. We got Big Fruit up in the building. I see you. The voice of the streets is here. I see you, Fruit. Trying to say sucker free. Like I said, Dog loyalty is crazy. But the live he did earlier, ABG, real Brooklyn shit, long live Pop. I see you in the building. The live my nigga did earlier, grown folks shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like real grown folks conversation. Because they be shooting that Dog. And you know, we got a lot of shooters over here. We stay in peace. We don't bother nobody. But for my man to illustrate and articulate what he did earlier, that was grown. Because like I said, we all fuck up sometimes. And shout out to Fruit. Liddy, I see you in the building. Shout out to Fruit. I remember Fruit they was get like Fruit. You know what? Fruit make me laugh. You know why? Because certain things we are not used to. What I mean by we is some of us that have really came from some low parts of life. How could I say? When the best time we had was playing stickball or skelly or handball or basketball in the park in the rain, ducking truant vans. I can understand it. I think Fruit is one of the reasons that kind of helped me stay focused alongside with the other great entities that be holding me down. Bad Vibes, Dog Soldier, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the great Frank Boo, you know what I'm saying? Zeke Black, 050 China, you know what I'm saying? FTC Vice. The list goes on and on. My nigga City Bama Day One shit, City Boy Floyd, like when I first came on YouTube, I thought I was coming into a realm of adults and individuals that came from the same era and cloth that we come from. But then I had to catch myself. Just because we all come from a certain cloth or era don't actually mean we was involved with the cloth or the era. You know, because the little dude that's sitting outside, he's still from the hood. The dude that mother made sure he didn't get to come outside, he's still from the hood. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the theatrics on YouTube can be, to me, can be heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Can really be heartbreaking because, like I said, I heard a YouTuber say that my life, he he said he thinks that my life was something that was wrote out of a movie. Now, if you think myself or any of the other greats want to come up here to try to show y'all the difference between right and wrong, and to this second trying to right our wrongs from decisions that we made when we were children, I pray for a lot of people. I pray for a lot of people. Like all jokes aside, like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Fruit was gonna motherfucker quit one day. I was gonna quit the next day. And then somebody said some slick shit in Fruit chat, and Fruit said, "Fuck that, I'm going live again. I don't give a fuck." So, like I said, that Brooklyn shit, we gotta have the motherfucking last word. We petty, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad he decided, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to me, shout out to your wife too, man. Shout out to the Baileys, man, you know what I'm saying? And all that motherfucking blessing and everything y'all got. Because we need that great journalism. If y'all not subscribed to Fruit, some of the best street interviews, not even interviews, because that's being too intrusive. Some of the best street conversations. You dig what I'm saying? I got a few that's under the belt that's kind of sexy over here. But when it come to Fruit definitely got the voice of the streets, and he got the official tissue dudes that came back and they're comfortable enough. You know what I'm saying? If you just missed it, he just had C. Franklin around. You know, we sitting here waiting for him. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into what's going on today, y'all, about this snaps and the EBT. You know what I'm saying? Word up. Oh, he said the night. He said the night. See, he said the night. He gonna have Sherm the Word, and Turf on the phone at 8 p.m. See, make sure y'all subscribe, man. Like I said, make sure y'all get over there and get it right. I think right now, y'all, they're trying to start. They're trying to start. How could I say? You remember the movie Escape from New York? You remember the movie Escape from New York? See, first of all, right now is, to me, I think, is the precepts in the martial law. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, if a lot of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. EBT, food stamps, and EBT cards. If y'all pay attention to what's going across the screen, they said no SNAP benefits to be issued in the month of November as government shutdowns continues. Because people failing to realize, y'all, we keep forgetting that the government right now is on strike. The government right now is not doing anything besides the fact of our safety, that I've really been thinking about that from a different aspect. Like if the government isn't around, who's protecting these borders? Who's protecting these cyber threats? Who's protecting the pollution? Who's protecting our water? Who's protecting our food? You know, because a lot of foods is coming from other countries to the United States. Who's protecting all this food? Who's protecting our water? Shout out to Cola James. She just did a show about how they just was planning to dump some waste radioactive waste in the Hudson River. Now, we didn't have our stories for all these years about the Hudson River being polluted, but radioactive waste. So if you put radioactive waste in the sea, that's going to kill or pollute the fish in the sea. And people are fishing and eating from that water. So it's like I want to know what's going on right now. Like, they said they don't want to do no EBT. All them checks that's coming out on the 1st and the 3rd, pay attention. All them pension checks that's going to your uncles that was in the war. All them pension checks that's going to your family members that's been working and retired. They said it's a halt on that. Effective November 2025. Effective November next month, 2025. With a couple of more weeks, all the assistance that goes to us is going to be discontinued, and we don't even know for how long. So hold on. Like I said, shout out to all the women that have the beautiful babies, multiple babies, 4, 5, 6, 7. Section 8, EBT, that's depending on that food to feed them kids that maybe won't be able to go to work because they have to stay home and deal with their babies. How they going to feed them kids next month? The people that live from check to check, like getting them checks, like down here in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, the checks is $850, $875 a month. So they feel as though $875 a month is enough for a human being to live comfortably for a month. Because you got to think about it. That money, that cash money, comes along with EBT, food stamps, that ghetto debit card. Now, what about the people that don't have no money saved up? What about the people that unfortunately have other bills that they have to pay and they selling their food stamps? Y'all know what it is, 5,400, right? 100 for 200, 300, you know what I'm saying, for 600, because that money is not enough. Okay, but let's think about the older people. Let's think about the people that's living off checks, big mamas. Think about the people in the projects. Think about the old timers that all they have and they know of to live off of is assistance from the government. But the government says of November, they won't be assisting anybody else. What you think gonna happen? Can anybody in the chat give me an idea what they think gonna happen? Anybody? Anybody think they know what's gonna happen? Well, I feel as though it's gonna be a revolution. I think it's gonna be a revolution. The only thing I see is a revolution. Keith said it's about to go crazy. All I see is a revolution. All I see is people that's waiting for money to be told that they're not going to get no money. All I see is people looting in stores. Looting in stores. This is what I see, y'all. Hold on, pay attention. Besides the looting in stores, I see the crime going up. I see people getting robbed in the streets. I see home invasions. I see more murders. Now, pay attention. The crime is raising because people ain't wanting to do no crime. Even though people do crime, that's on EBT. Even though people do crime, they get, they checks on the first and the third. But now you telling them they ain't gonna have no money. Now you telling people, you know what? You can't eat. Rest in peace to my nigga Half. One thing he said to me, I'll never forget. He said, yo, God, I've never heard a stomach say that he'll wait to eat. Don't let that go over your head. Let me tell you something. Everybody in this chat, I hope you haven't, but I know what it is for my stomach to be screaming. I know what it means for my stomach to be screaming. I know what it is to be hungry. Hey, Miss Brownie, how you doing, girl? I see you in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. I don't know if you heard about this situation, Brownie. As of November, the benefits and the snaps is all to be discontinued by the government until they let us know when it's coming back. And what I see coming is the revolution. Because number one, I'm just going to say, let's say New York City. Club Fortune, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Oh, yeah. This is what I want y'all to do, man. This is what I want y'all to do. Go get them memberships, y'all. Go get them memberships. Go get them memberships. We are about to start going live, members only. Because we about to get into our great content. We are definitely about to get into our great content. And all I know is if they don't have no way for people to pay for their money, pay for their food, people gonna take it. Nobody in here in this chat is gonna allow themselves to starve. Frank Boo, I see you in the building. Salute. Nobody in here is gonna starve. Pay attention. I don't know if anybody in here is on EBT. It's none of my business. But one thing I do know is if you tell me that you are looking forward, Annette, I see you in the building. Clarice, I see you in the building. If you tell me the money that you look forward to every month, the money that you look forward to every month to help you feed yourself and your babies is not going to be there. This is going to be a dire time in the streets. This is going to be a dire time in the streets. I'm just saying, let's think about New York City. Think about it. I see crime. I see crime. I see crime about to rise. But when crime rises, pay attention to what they're going to do. Brownie said, just in time for Thanksgiving. Somebody said earlier, Keisha and them said earlier, they did it right before Christmas. Now, hold on. When the crime raises, you know what happens then, right? You know what happens when the crime raises, right, great people? Okay, I'm going to tell you what happens. That's when they start putting in martial law. And that's when they quote unquote, hey, Tanya, I see you in the building, sis. That's when they start enforcing curfews. Now, see, let me explain something to you. You remember when the situation came through that we don't talk about, that had to shut down for everybody? I had to work through that. At my job, you know what they gave us? They gave us a piece of paper, a note to carry, that if we were pulled over by the police because everybody was on a national-wide shutdown, if we was pulled over by the police, that we were allowed to keep going because we worked for a factory, Walmart distribution to be exact. Y'all don't understand what's about to happen? Y'all don't understand what's about to happen? Number one, people look forward, like I said, shout out to the women that have more than one child. Shout out to the women that work and still get an assistance from the government to help them feed their 2 children. What about the women that have 3 children? What about the women that have 4 children? What about the women that have 5 children? What about the women that have 6 children? So you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me nothing? You have nothing for these people? That's why I say people is about to start. They're about to revolt. They are about to revolt. They are about to revolt. People ain't gonna starve. Where I come from, people ain't gonna starve. Where you come from, people are not gonna starve. Our stomachs are not gonna wait to be fed. Carice said, what Trump is doing is nasty work and it's going to go down. It's definitely gonna go down. First of all, let me tell you something. When they rushed the White House, pay attention, before Trump was even brought back into his 3rd presidency, when they rushed the White House, I knew Trump was trying to do something bigger than people even understood. When them people showed their loyalty to Donald Trump and ran up in that Congress house like that and attacked all them people. See, first of all, people got to pay attention to who they voted into the White House. See, they're presidents, they're tyrants, they're hustlers, and they're gangsters. Donald Trump is everything but a president. Just my opinion. Keith said the Panthers and the organizations like that still exist, though. But see, this is the part that's really going to be crazy, because now they're going to need the people like the Panthers, the people like the Strong Bloods, the people like the Strong Crips, the people like the Strong Latin Kings. They're going to need the strongest of the strongest to keep order in the communities in their neighborhoods. Holly said, Dice, she said, I got a girl at my job, 9 kids. She was in, you heard, hold on, y'all heard what she just said? You heard what she just said? You heard what she just said? A girl at her job has 9 children. What is she gonna do? All of that, Tanja. WIC, all of that. WIC applies as well, baby formula, etc. Pay attention, China. Pay attention, Tanja. Excuse me. Pay attention to what they are saying. Now, hold on. Let's get to this. What about them young girls that don't have a job? What about them young girls that unfortunately were raised by people with certain addictions that did the best they can, and they're on a supplement every month? Think about it, dog. it's going to get real nasty. First of all, if you cannot bring food in that home, it's going to be hard as it for women. But just imagine if you're a man and you're a woman and you got to go to the streets. People are not going to wait. This is all, to me, a plot to enforce these laws. Like I said, when martial law comes in, I tell people down here in the South, when you go to the National Guards, the armories and stuff down here, they got in every armory that they have in the South, they have a tank that's sitting in the parking lot. I think I'm joking, Google this. They got a tank that's sitting in the parking lot. I personally thought that the tank was just there. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just there. You know, like a souvenir or something like that, like a declaration of the wars that happened down here in the South. No, that tank is fully operative right now. And the reason why that tank is fully operative right now is because in the case of an eruption or a revolt where the police can no longer handle the masses, the army will get involved. Now, see, a lot of people don't know this. The police are called to debate. The police are called to try to negotiate. Even though 9 out of 10 times when it comes to violence, someone may be arrested. But the police are called to be diplomatic. When the police can no longer handle the situation, the army is called. And when the army is called to kill. It's a cold-blooded fact. The army, once the army is called, the army is coming to eradicate, meaning to kill anything that is a common threat. Because the police department, the sheriff department, they don't have control anymore. They don't have control anymore. Now pay attention. I just said New York City. What about Los Angeles? What about Chicago? What about Detroit? What about New Orleans? What about Baltimore, Maryland? What about Louisiana? What about North Carolina? What about South Carolina? Do you understand there are so many young families that have children? Do you understand that we have a lot of young couples today that have children? 24 years old, he 24, she 22. He 24, she 20. He 25, she 24. Section 8, voucher. You have to go to work. Hazel Wise, I see you, girl. Appreciate you for pulling up. Think about that. They're going to tell that young girl that's working a certain amount of hours to keep her Section 8 apartment that this particular month on, they will never, ever know when their assistance will be coming to them ever again. So what are the options now? Okay, let me tell you what the options is. You see them young relationships? A lot of young relationships about to be separated right now. When that nigga can't bring that money in the crib and that assistance from the government is not coming in the crib on her side that made her feel comfortable, let me explain something to you. Nigga, get out my house. Oh, y'all think it's a joke? You ain't paying no bills in here. When the last time you bought some food in here? See, these is more problems that are going to erupt that didn't erupt last month because last month they knew they had their EBT. What you saying, Clarice? You say, am I making some sense? See, last month, her and her baby father wasn't arguing about no motherfucking food. Shit, they had Pop-Tarts, waffles, Entenmann's donuts, chicken tenders, a couple of lobster tails. You know why? Because of that EBT. Because of that EBT. But check this out. Now, that EBT assistance is not going to be there. So check this out. You see how they was going to get an eighth every day? You know how she was going to work every day. She was tired, working her little hours. You know how he was trying to get his job. He was trying to get his. Remember how they used to get an eighth every day? It goes to, yo, why you want to smoke so much weed? See, when the EBT, that assistance was coming on, you knew that certain cash you had on deck for maybe a little bit of pleasure. But now that that EBT is getting cut off, now we can't get an eighth every day. We got to get an eighth, like you get an eighth Monday, and then we gonna make what we gonna do? We gonna make that last till Friday. We gonna smoke a blunt together every day till Friday. You see what Frank Booth said? This is a modern day purge, y'all. This is a modern day purge that's about to unfold. FTC Fights, I see you in the building. Your FTC Vice, they said as of November the 1st, baby, no WIC, no EBT, no SNAP, no public assistance, nothing, man. Nothing. They said nothing. As of November the 1st, undefinite. They don't even know when the shit coming back, eh? So let me say something to you. Domestic violence is about to rise again, too. Don't nobody fight more than the first baby mother and the first baby father. Don't nobody fight more than that. Don't nobody fight more than the first baby mother and the first baby father. Hazel Wise said the federal government shutdown affecting this as well. That's a cold-blooded fact. The government, they said they is not, first of all, they feel as though if they don't have their demands met, they don't care. But see, they don't understand the controversy and the chaotic environment that they are quote unquote responsible for. They are planting the seed right now for chaos. They don't think that it's going to affect them. Like Frank Booth said earlier. You remember the movie The Purge? You remember the movie The Purge, the first Purge? You remember that the dude that had the bank, and he was the one that made sure all the homes in the neighborhood had the extra protection. But he didn't understand that everybody in that motherfucking neighborhood was envious of him because they all paid their hard-earned money to him for something they felt as though that he should have gave to them just because they was neighbors. That should have been a neighborly thing. Instead of charging me $350,000 or $500,000 to install a security system. Ain't you my neighbor? All right, I can see you charge somebody on the other side of town $500,000 for a security system, but if I'm your neighbor, how come I can't get it for $100,000? Because that has nothing to do. That's not how business go. You understand? What they doing right now is setting us up all for failure. Because let me explain something to you. When you hungry, when you are hungry, that hunger will possess you to do some things. That hunger will possess you to do some things that you thought you'd never do. It's just like a woman that may be addicted to a drug. And they said they would never, ever compromise selling their body to obtain this drug. But when that drug became an addiction, something that that woman needed, that they needed that to survive, the whole self-respect goes out the window. The whole self-respect thing goes out the window. So everybody that's may be affected by this, everybody that may be affected by this, spend your money wisely. For the older people in your family, that may need some help or assistance, get in touch with them. Make sure Make sure that you have everything that you need, and make sure that they have everything that they need, because if we don't have them to talk to, or we don't have them when all this is going on, we got to protect them. Right now, you have to get a grab or a hold of your children. Right now, you have to get a grab or a hold of your family. Because remember, this is just allegedly going to be the beginning of this. So right now, people are comfortable. They're not worried about certain things. They're not worried. But it's slightly right around the corner. Word up. Here's why I said, so after the shutdown is effective, November the 1st, food stamps, WIC requirements will change. It's going to be all a mess. If the federal government don't open its mouth, people will go without. See? Now, you heard what she said? People will go without. And that's going to create hunger. That's going to create anger. And then people are going to start thinking about their children and themselves, and they're going to be forced to go on the street. We got the great Frank Boo in the building. Yo,
You
crystal clear. Salute, guy.
shaking salutes, beloved. Shaking you
Tell
in
me
the
something
chat.
good. How you feel about what's going on, man? Talk to me, man.
And I think it's just I think it's just entering the stage of a modern day purge. You know what I mean? All the fuckery is gonna start happening. You know what I mean? Once people belly start touching, you know what I mean, all kinds of other fuckery gonna start happening.
Mm, mm. And that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of worried about. And I don't understand why the government is even doing this to everybody, because it's like I said, the only thing I can really see them getting out of this, bro, is martial law being enforced. That's it.
Yeah, well, this world is built on the have-nots, the haves and the have-nots. You know what I mean? So the haves don't really care nothing about the have-nots. And for those of us that have been foolish enough not to really try to build, our own wealth, or build our own, ways of, feeding ourselves, or, taking care of ourselves, or even, having a camaraderie. And I say this to our black people, specifically, because we seem to be the only culture who has a problem with one another, or trying to help one another. You don't really see this, too much with too many other nationalities. And
Mm,
though it may exist to some extent, I don't think it happens to the great extent that it happens with us as, you know, so-called African Americans, man. You know what I mean? We just can't get, it's like old boy said, we can't get right. You know what I mean? We can't love one another. We can't sit in a grouping of 10 and more and build and not try to take another one down or become jealous or envious. So we continue to be at the bottom of the pit. You know what I mean?
mm. Tell me something. Off that what you just said. Why you really feel as though even after everything, all the repetitive, like you said, the envy and the jealousy, and we see the outcomes that it came from. Unfortunately, people getting unalive, people going to jail for the rest of their lives. Why do you think we really can't get that shit right, bro? Because there's so much intelligence. Why won't we just make the intelligent moves and just get it right? Like they said, 6 of us to carry us when we at a funeral, when we get ready to leave, but we don't have 6 of us to uplift us while we all alive on the earth.
Because and this is just, it's sad to say, and no disrespect to the individual, the few individuals that may be carrying that casket, but the majority of the people that be carrying that caskets they didn't give a fuck about you neither. You know what I mean? They doing it, they doing it, you know what I'm saying, just to be seen in that moment, you know. Um, and that's the sad thing. You listen, bro. Like I don't profess to be no kind of, saint in this shit, because I had to go through trial by error, trial by experience. So my love for my people now is because I went through and was, a part of that same bullshit. And Willie Lynch said it best, man. He said 200, 300 years after, what I'm saying, he did what he did, man. It still was gonna be in play, and it's still in play. And
Right.
It's just what it is, bro. You
Damn,
know, so
you're 100% right. It's like sad because I say to myself when I see certain people and I know the intelligence in people, and I always say to myself, well, why won't they just put the bullshit to the side for the better of all? But it just seems like some people, like you said, instead of being selfless, they're selfish. And that's why we keep going around the same bullshit over and over again. And it's sad, bro, because all these tactics that the government is putting up, not just the government, all the tactics that's going on in the world, like you said, not just against us, but just as against people as a whole. Because it's not just affect, even though we're being affected, like we it seem like we the guinea pigs of this shit. Like they'll throw it in the neighborhoods and the minorities and see how we affect and see how it affect us, see how we start acting crazy, like the whole situation with the projects. And then they said they'll let it trickle off into the middle and the suburbs, et cetera, et cetera. And then they say they let it get to the last point to the people, like you say, that have the haves. Like the have nots is always forgotten. And it just seemed like it just keeps going over and over and over again. And we just keep falling. Well, not all of us, but the majority of us, like the ones that's actually trying to make things to a difference, trying to better themselves and everything around them, they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. But the
I mean,
foolishness seems like it takes off.
I don't think we could. I don't even think we can expect them to get the recognition that they deserve because they're the minority. And when you're in a room full of vultures and it's just you dig, and you ain't got no backing, how can you really make a stand? You dig what I'm saying? Like the reason that and this is no disrespect to no culture or no specific uh, entity, body of entity, whether it's the gays or Chinese or whatever. Those people have made lasting uh, 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 stands because they have banded together as one. You dig? We see the LGBTQ community. We see the Chinese. We see the we see everybody except for African American. Those of us that have built this country on our backs. Those of us that was brought over from slavery. Those of us that have been whipped and beat and migrated from the south to the north, back from the north, and now a lot of us is going back to this. Yo, we are the only ones who allow and continue to allow this type of a fuckery to happen because we won't stand for something.
Mm.
We continue to fall for anything. We continue to look at the bro who got a $200 pair of sneakers on and say, yo, I want him. So I kill him before I go and do anything. And I'm not promoting any violence. What I'm saying is that we are annihilating our own. You dig? So, that like we're purging ourselves from within, bro. You dig? So, those of us that, do have a consciousness or would want better for ourselves or who have been through the fire, you dig? We got to be apprehensive because it's like, yo, damn, who am I siding with? This dude right here, he the same color as me, but he don't have the same heart, the same intentions, the same consciousness as me. So guess what? He's an enemy. He's an op. You
Oh,
dig? So, it's like, I understand why so many of our people are afraid to trust, people who look like us, because it seems like every time we attempt to trust somebody that look like us, we get taken down. They by the same person that we, attempted to trust. So I mean, we just living in a fucked up time. You know what I mean? That's just point blank. Period. Dig. And I think that there's a lot of other nationalities and races that are just sitting back laughing at us. Like I got a few good, Nigerian friends. I got a
me too.
few good, a few good, Asian friends. And and one of my questions to them was, hey yo, why don't y'all like, what I'm saying, Americans or whatever? And it's like Americans are lazy. Americans, they
That's what my Haitian mans be saying. That's facts.
yeah, Americans are lazy. Americans got all this opportunity, but they do nothing with it but squander it. And like I said, I think I've said this before. Cameron got a verse in one of his songs where he say that all we came from was whips and chains. Now all we want in life is whips and chains. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like that's what validate us as black people, getting the latest car, or you know what I mean, having 30,000 over on around our neck or whatever the case may be. Now I'm not saying that it's not cool to want to have nice things or you're not deserving of nice things. But what I'm saying that there's a bigger picture. And you know, and other nationalities, man, and countries, man, they know that they know and understand that bigger picture, man. And it's about, you know, survival. It's about how, you know, people talk about generational wealth, but how about generational survival? You dig?
Yeah.
Because if your peoples can't make it on that, you know, on that voyage or on that spacecraft that may take them to Mars to, you know, when, if and when, you know, a World War III was to happen, you dead off. Your whole situation is dead off anyway. So truthfully, you just living for the moment. We're just living for the moment.
Mm, that's a fact. That's a fact. And you say it's sad, like you said, I got a few of my Haitian dudes and a few of my African homies that I used to work with, and they said all they wanted to do was come to America because in their countries, like my man told me, he said like $47 a month was like a lot of money in Haiti. I said, what? He was like, it's like a lot of money. And all he wanted to do was get his first he came, then he was gonna send for his mother. See now this is the love that they have amongst each other and the sacrifice that I understood. First he came, and then he said he sent for his mother. Then he sent for his children, and then he sent for his wife last. Like they got a different priority system because they know what they're coming together for is, as opposed to us being raised in it, being spoiled, all the opportunities that they want to give us that we just ignore. And then they wonder why when a lot of the people come from other countries, they be hesitant to interact with us. It's just like when we was coming up, like when certain Spanish dudes or whatever was into certain things, or certain Cubans was into certain things, they always said, well, the blacks, they're gonna rob us or they're gonna do something. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. And it's just sad that it seemed like a lot of the countries besides America, they have a different work ethic besides except us. Frank Boo drop, he'll probably be back up. That's really gangster. That's really sad. And I think that's what's gonna destroy us also with this situation coming up right now, as far as with the assistance. As far as with the assistance. I see you back, boy.
Yeah.
You gotta go by avatar. You black. Might be in a bad area. Oh, you good. You back. You back, boy.
Yeah, bro. Yo, listen, man. Yo, over my time in prison, man. You know, I was fortunate, man, to have the mindset to to indulge in a lot of different books, and you know, I read a lot about our history. You know, I read a lot about our ancestors and the trials and tribulations they went through from the ancient adepts on. You know, bro, if we don't get it together as a people, then guess what? We can't blame nobody else. It seems like every other nationality or culture has gotten it together. The Chinese, the Haitians, the Jews, so forth and
Facts.
so on. You dig? And the only people that seem to be lagging and have been the worst affected when it comes to the sufferation of bondage and whippings and slavery and so forth and so on is that we can't get it right. We can't get the conditioning that Willie Lynch has, embedded within us, and slavery has embedded within us to love one another or to break that curse, that Willie Lynch syndrome, in order to start a process of healing and loving one another. Now, for the few, I don't believe that, Jay say in one of his joints, Jay say less is more, there's plenty of us. And
Right.
um I believe that to a degree, but when it comes to the culmination of force, I never really seen one person that could take on 100 men or 50 men and come out a winner. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? So it's gonna take more of us. It's gonna take a lot more of us to be able to stand on the fact that we're tired of being tired. We're tired of being abused. We're tired of being psychologically abused. We're tired of being physically abused. We're tired of being culturally abused. We're tired of being abused, period. You dig? And say that, enough is enough, but it ain't against us no more. It's against those that are doing it to us.
That's right.
That's what every other organization or every other culture did. They stood up. They stood up and they said, yo, enough is enough. This is what we are gonna do. And this is how we're gonna do it. If we gotta sleep 5 or 10 or 15 to a room
That's right.
and come to your country and access what it is that you are giving your own people, but they're too foolish to recognize what they have in the palm of your hands. We're going to take it and we're going to send it back to our countries. And then guess what? We're going to leave your countries and go back to our countries that we have built up to be now a factor. And that's what's happening.
That's right. Utilize the system. Got the money and took it back to their countries.
Take
Like
it
you
back to
said,
their country.
when the Arabs came, we used to laugh at them. Remember, all of them staying 9 and 10 in a 3-bedroom apartment, 14, 15 people. And everybody sooner or later just disappeared and was branched off into another property that they bought somewhere in Brooklyn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they took the bag back to their countries. That's a fact. That's
Yeah.
a fact. That's a
Yeah.
cold-blooded fact.
They use those resources. They use the EBT. They use the WIC. They used the food stamps. They used everything that America had made available to us. And a lot of people don't realize that when America made this available to us even back then, and my mother was on welfare, you dig? So, and a lot of my aunts, it was supposed to be temporary. It wasn't supposed to be something that we become dependent upon.
Mm.
But in the and you got to realize that we us as street individuals, see, we learn by trial and error. Don't think that the government didn't learn by trial and error. They may have thought that they was enacting something that was going to be temporary and that they was going to help the citizens of America become more uh 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 uh, uh more
More
conscious
independent.
of what they had to do and independent of their own and do
That's
for
right.
self. They was going to give them a boost. But when they realized that, hold up, if this is what we can do to keep them stagnant, if this is what we can do to hinder them from thinking about doing anything other, which may be actually finding the power within themselves to do something for themselves, which will allow them to grow for themselves and for their family, which will enhance their capabilities and their quality of life of not depending on us. Hold up, let's keep this in play.
That's right.
Let's keep this in play because if we got this in play, we can control them. See, a lot of individuals don't realize, like y'all running around and y'all talking about y'all this and that. Y'all being controlled. Y'all like for real, for real. A lot of these dudes right now that's doing a lot of this shit when it comes to music, are like, yo, don't get it twisted, man. You think I came up from an era of Public Enemy. I came up from an era of, you know what
Talk.
I'm saying, KRS-One. I came up from people that was really trying to uplift, you know what I'm saying, even in their songs, you know what I'm saying, even from the Nas or the AZs and so forth and so on. They were still building. You dig what I'm saying? They wasn't talking just a bunch of fuckery and foolery about, you know what I'm saying, effing sisters and, you know what I'm saying, and twerking and all this other goofy shit that's going on.
That's
And, you
right.
know what I'm saying? So, like, right now, man, like, yo, real talk, man, like, a lot of these dudes, man, and trust me, I don't knock the hustle, but once you get the hustle, like, nigga, get some backbone. And now, you know what I'm saying, tell the people what they need to hear, man, as opposed to still living off the back of your own people by leading them to tainted water and toxic water. Dig? So
Mhm.
yeah, that's what we up against, homie. Like I said, it's the purge now, man. That's the purge. Point blank, period.
And that's all it is. That's the sad part is they like I said, they're gonna make us go crazy, just go at each other. The crime is gonna raise, and they're gonna come and try to just isolate and lock everybody up. I'm telling you, I see it coming. This is sad. I just hope that this doesn't go. I hope they get this thing. I hope it doesn't even go into effect. They still have like about 10 days left. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of things that can change within 10 days because I don't think unless they got this in their mind to just see what type of, you know what I'm saying, what's going to be the outcome of this project because this is not just where we from. This is going to be across the whole world.
Without a question. But one thing that my grandmother always told me, man, is that yo, respect the snake for a snake, my dude. You
Talk,
dig? One thing about the scorpion and the frog, my dude. At the end of the day, when the scorpion got to where he wanted to be, regardless whether he understood that he was going to drown along with the frog looked up to him and said, yo, man, I just tried to help you, but you still stung me. And the scorpion said, yo, Playboy, what did you expect? It's in my nature.
That's right.
Respect the nature of a snake. Respect the nature of a scorpion. And a lot of us wouldn't have these issues. You know, we like, right now, a lot of us, man, it's just what it is, man. A lot of us is just living for the here and now. And I understand it. You dig? And a person that don't stand for something, they fall for anything. So that's what a lot of us are falling for. So again, you asking a lot of Axel F. What you been? I'm in the cut, my homie. I'm in the cut, you know what I'm saying? Brainstorming and trying to figure out how, you know what I'm saying, with me and a few individuals that I rock with, you know what I'm saying, to grow these little small crops and how to, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
make a better state in life for self, man, as opposed to just being a part of something that seems redundant on this YouTube. Like, for me, it ain't about the views. It ain't about all that. I did all that. You dig what I'm saying? Like this
Oh,
right now, it's about me, you know what I'm saying, telling somebody hopefully something that will hinder them from going through what it is that I went through for the last 20 something years of my life. I don't just count the last 16 that I spent in them people's walls. I'm
oh,
counting all the years on Rikers Island, up north, you know what I'm saying, in the group homes and so forth and so on. You dig? Like, this if people ain't getting it here and now in 2025, then it's sad to say, man, you ain't gonna get it. And if us as a people can't begin the process here and now, we lost beyond any kind of help, I believe, homie. And it's crazy because it just seems like until something real tragic happens, that's when it seems that people want to band together. You know what I mean? Like, why it takes that when you getting the signs now, signs that something is happening right here in your face,
something
and
brewing.
you
That's
won't
right.
take that initiative to say, yo, listen, man, let's stop. And this is not just about, here, like you said. This is about the leaders in every state, part of this, and that's a part of this country. That's to know that to really hail up. You know what I mean? Like yo, bro, like a lot of this is just foolery, homie. And we could talk till the wind runs out of our lungs. Will something happen? I don't know. Only God Almighty knows that. You know what I mean? To
Right.
him I give my glory, and to him he has the end. He is the, you know what I mean? He's the omnipotent and the omnipresent. So whatever his plan is, it is what it is. The only thing I want for him to know with me, man, is that my heart is pure right now. You dig? When it
That's
comes
right.
to assisting and helping, you know what I mean, one individual. I ain't trying to help everybody. If one person on the block that I walk or the street that I drive on, I see and I feel that his energy mesh with mine, and I'm able, or her energy is able to mesh with mine, and I'm able to say, yo, sis, that ain't what we supposed to be doing, or yo, little bro, that ain't what we supposed to be doing. It's a better way. Then that's me. You dig what I'm saying? Because some of us will never get it. We don't
And
want to
that's a
get it.
fact. And that's sad, bro. Like you said, if you ain't getting it now, like what more do it take for it to absorb through your motherfucking brain? Because this is really, really a bigger plan. I'm seeing it. Like I said, it's a bigger plan. Because this right here, I pray within these last 10 days or whatever, so forth, that they come to some type of agreement where they won't have to discontinue people. You know what I'm saying? They benefits like that because it's going to start something. It's going to start something that's going to be that's just going to it's going to continue to grow. It's going to snowball. Like I said, it's you see what's going on as far as the situations with ISIS and how they running through DCs and all that. That's all. It's just going to amplify a bigger war in the street. So hopefully people get their minds right and this whole situation will change and they get this government back because this is not going to be good. Not for the holidays, for nothing, for nobody, especially the elderly. That's another concern
Facts.
too. The elderly, like the people that
Yeah,
really depend on that, man.
yeah, because we gotta realize, like, our elderly, man, a lot of them, they're in their 80s and their 90s right now. So they got the last vestige. They got the
Right.
last vestige of the bullshit that was happening in the Jim Crow area. If not, you know what I'm saying, a nice piece of it. They lived through it. So, you know what I mean? I could only imagine. And I've had conversations with grandmothers who are saddened. You dig? And again, let me say this very,
Oh,
very, very clearly, homie. Like, I played a part of this bullshit. You heard me? Like, truthfully, you dig? And it was just the squalor that we lived in coming up in the time that I came up in. And at that time, I can't say that I knew better. You dig? Because it was so much poverty. It was a heightened state of don't be the one going to school with holes in your shoes and
That's
looking
right.
like a vagabond. So I did what I believe was good for me and my four other siblings that lived in that household, with me. And don't get it twisted, my mother was a beautiful woman who did the best she could do. May she rest in
Right.
peace. You dig what
Rest
I'm
up.
saying?
That's right.
So yeah, my salutes to her. She was strong. She was a black queen that, guess what, didn't condone what I was doing as a youth, but definitely prayed for me, man, and walked by me. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Like any mother would and should do, but we like I'm not gonna allow myself to sit here and say that that at one point in time I wasn't a part of the problem as opposed to being a part of the solution. And this is what I'm saying is like for a lot of us, you dig, especially individuals who got the bread. You dig,
Right.
like y'all are afforded much more, y'all are afforded many more avenues to uncover the truth in what would allow y'all to be a better model to the race that you come from, which is the African American race here in America.
Right.
So for those that got this bread, and you tell me, yeah, you spent 100,000, whatever on a chain, like yo, Duke, I look at you now like you fool. Like I look at you back, like there was a lot of them suckers, and I don't call their niggas names. Like a lot of niggas, I could pull their skirts up, a lot of them, and but that don't make me no better. What I will
Right.
say is I see that you still trapped in that same mentality, and for that. That's what makes me look at you like, yo, nigga, you're for dead. You dig, like, yo, bro, like if you ain't came of a age or a respectable mindset now to know and understand that you're a liability and you're a detriment to what we as a people should be striving for here in this time at this end of time. Yo, there's no, I mean, I ain't got no words for you. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and I understand that that's just how it is. Period.
Unfortunately, that's exactly the days we in right now. Damn. Damn. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. That's peace. That's if you can't hear it, you'll never hear it. Like I said, thank God for the life and the sense that we have today. Thank God for the OGs like Frank Boo and other OGs that paved the way for us. Like I said, to hear his evolvement, I've always praised you for that, bro. I've always praised you for that. And like I said, we ain't got to talk about it, but your blessings is lined up. Your blessings is lined up, man. Just keep getting them shits and stay official. Like I said, and I appreciate you for pulling up. Yo, tell them where they can get you up, man. We ain't even gonna go into the second one. We're gonna do a part two on that, man. Tell them where they can go find you
Bro,
at, man.
bro, like right now, bro, I'm soul searching myself, King. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like me personally, like vertical talk is where I'm at. I don't get it twisted, you dig? I'm definitely coming back, but like like I expressed to you and a few of my others, it's like yo, I just seen things on a platform, what I'm saying, on the YouTube platform as being just redundant, man. Like what I'm saying. So I don't want to be a part of that. Like I ain't a part of that. I've always been, what I'm saying, I've been always one deep in the most sense, playing for deep, playing for keeps. So you dig, like, right now, man, I'm just enjoying life, man. I'm enjoying the fact that, what I'm saying, the Most High gave me, this chance to be back out here. You dig,
Right,
and just paying attention to, everything that's going on. You dig, and hoping to be, an asset and not a liability. You know what I mean? To those, that need individuals like us to hear the truth, even though they may not want to hear it, or maybe they can't even understand it or comprehend it. But one thing with me that I learned and I know is that I didn't want to hear it and I didn't understand it or comprehend it at one point in time, but it
right.
stuck, it resonated. So one day it just clicked. And that's how it often is. It just clicks. So yeah, boy, this is vertical talk. This is FB, you dig? This is Frankie Boo. This is one that really did it. This is one that lived through it. This is one that ain't make up no stories, make up no pictures, you know what I'm saying, enhance or fabricate. Nah, this is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? And I take pride in that sense. So, I definitely won't become like no other, you know what I mean, especially ones who faking, and they know who they are. It is what it is, though. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's entertainment. Are you not entertained?
So,
Are you not entertained?
I like that, son. That's my new shit. It's entertainment. I'm taking that, bro. For real,
Yeah,
yo.
bro.
It's
Yeah,
entertainment, man. Yo, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Yo, Frank, I appreciate you for pulling up. You know you home over here, man. We need
yeah,
that. You know what
man.
I'm saying? Keep doing what you're
Yes.
doing, though. You know what I'm saying? Your blessings is coming. Like you said, it ain't gonna be nothing repetitive. I'm glad when you pop out, but you know we waiting for you.
My
We waiting for
blessings
you.
is
Heard me?
already here, homie. Like I ain't gonna front. You dig? Like Allah's blessed me, man. He continue to bless me, man. Salute to you in the chat, my nigga. Like, yo, at the end
Man,
of the day, man, like I say, man, we here, man. We in the building.
say no more, my guy. Everybody that pulled up in the building, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Straight them down. Frank Boo came through and blessed the stage as usual. Y'all already know the slogan: another day alive, another day free. Y'all know the rest. Peace. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
gotta rise up. We've got to organize. We've got to mobilize. We've got to work to solve these problems.
That's why it's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?